There is a specific kind of heaviness that somehow manages to make every other burden disappear. It isn't the dead weight of a heavy blanket or the suffocating pressure of anxiety. It is living weight. It has a temperature. It has a rhythm. Have you felt it? That warm pressure right on your chest, or the solid mass pressing against your legs in the dark. A dog curled up so close that there is no space left between your world and theirs, breathing with a slow, steady cadence that seems to reset the chaos in your own head. They sleep with absolute certainty. A total, unwavering conviction that your bed, that your very existence, is the safest place on earth. In our human world, we are obsessed with words. We navigate a landscape of constant noise. We need affirmations to feel secure. We need grand speeches, long text messages with the perfect emojis, or loud declarations to be convinced that we are loved. We spend our days decoding social cues, wondering if we said the right thing, worrying if we are enough. But here, in the quiet of 2 a.m., when the rest of the world has fallen away, or in the laziness of a Sunday morning when the light is just hitting the sheets, there are no speeches, no "I love yous" shouted from the rooftops. There is no need to perform or impress. There is just trust. A trust so loud, so thick, that it fills the entire room without making a single sound. This isn't just sleep. This is the purest definition of love we might ever experience. It is a love that exists entirely in the present tense. And today, I want to explore why this simple moment, this silent communion in the dark, might just be the most important part of your life. Let's talk about vulnerability for a second. Evolutionarily speaking, sleep is the most dangerous state for any living creature. In the unforgiving theater of the wild, closing your eyes is a massive risk. It means dropping your defenses. You disconnect from your primary sense of sight. You can't see a predator stalking through the grass. You can't react to a sudden ambush. Sleep is a total surrender to fate. For thousands of years, survival depended on vigilance. Wolves, the ancestors of the gentle creature currently drooling on your pillow, slept in packs not just for warmth, but for security. They protected each other's blind spots. So, when an animal, whose DNA still carries the memory of being both the hunter and the hunted, decides to climb into your bed, turn their back to the door, and close their eyes tight. That is not a small thing. It is a monumental decision. Animal behaviorists call this the highest validation of a social bond. It is the ultimate compliment. Consider the anatomy of a sleeping dog. For a dog, the belly is the softest, most vital part of the body. It is where all their essential organs reside: the heart, the stomach, the liver. It is their most vulnerable target. In a fight, a dog will instinctively curl up to protect this area. Yet, look at them now. When your dog sleeps on their back next to you, legs sprawled in the air in a posture of complete abandon, exposing the most fragile part of themselves to the world, they are communicating something profound. They are overriding millions of years of survival instinct. They are saying something stronger than any soldier's oath. They are saying, "I know you won't hurt me. And I know, with every fiber of my being, that you won't let anything else hurt me either." But this isn't a one-way street. This transaction of safety goes both ways. Why do we let them up there? Why do we sacrifice our legroom and our pristine duvet covers to let them into our most personal space? Because biologically, we need them just as much as they need us. Science tells us that when dogs and humans have physical contact, like cuddling in bed or simply resting a hand on their fur, a powerful chemical reaction occurs. Oxytocin levels in both species spike. That's the love hormone, the exact same neurochemical that bonds a mother to her newborn baby. It creates a feedback loop of affection and safety. At the same time, cortisol, the stress hormone that keeps us awake at night, that makes our minds race with worries about tomorrow's meeting or yesterday's mistakes, drops drastically. Their presence literally changes our body chemistry. Their weight on our mattress isn't just physical, it's an emotional anchor. a living, breathing gravity blanket that loves us back. They ground us in the physical world when our minds are trying to float away into anxiety. There's a saying that goes, "Dogs don't just sleep next to us, they keep watch in their own way." Even in deep sleep, their senses are tuned to a different frequency than ours. Maybe you felt it. You shift a little in your sleep, and they instinctively adjust their position to stay touching you. You sigh after a nightmare, and they respond with a soft groan or a tiny lick on your hand, as if to say, "I'm here, we're good, you're safe." They are the silent watchmen of our dreams. In a modern world full of uncertainty, endless email notifications, bad news cycling 24/7 on the TV, work stress that chases us into our dreams, a dog transforms an ordinary night into a fortress of comfort. The bedroom becomes a sanctuary, separated from the chaos outside by a barrier of fur and warmth. They actually sync their heart rates with ours. It's a biological phenomenon called co-regulation. When two mammals trust each other deeply, their nervous systems begin to mirror one another. Their naturally slower, calmer, resting heart rate acts as a metronome for ours. Their calm nervous system settles our chaotic one. They listen for the little sounds we miss, the wind against the glass, the settling of the house. Because they are listening, we don't have to. We can let go. They settle when we settle. Their presence turns isolation into solitude. There is a distinct difference between being lonely and being alone. Being alone in a quiet, dark room can feel heavy, even frightening. It can feel like the walls are closing in. But being alone in a room with a dog? That feels like luxury. That feels like home. The silence isn't empty anymore. It's companionable. We spend so much of our lives chasing the big things. We are conditioned to believe that happiness comes from the promotion, the bigger house, the recognition, the validation from strangers on the internet. We run on this hedonic treadmill, always reaching for the next milestone, rarely stopping to enjoy where we are. But then, you feel that warm breath on your neck, or a little paw kicking your back in the middle of the night. I know I can't be the only one who wakes up clinging to the edge of the mattress, suspended in a precarious balance, while my dog sprawls out diagonally across the queen-sized bed like they pay the mortgage. It's ridiculous. It's inconvenient. And yet, I wouldn't trade it for anything. These moments remind us that the best parts of life are often the simplest. They remind us that we are human beings, not human doings. A steady heartbeat. Soft paws that sometimes smell like popcorn or cut grass, and the feeling of being chosen. Think about the magnitude of that choice. Dogs are sentient beings with their own preferences and personalities. Of all the places in the house, the cool tile of the kitchen, the plush rug in the living room, the crate that is their own private den, this creature chose to curl up in the crook of your knees. To be the chosen person for a dog is a privilege we often overlook. They don't care about your job performance. They don't care if you gained weight. They don't care if you were awkward at the party. They just want you. If you have a dog who steals your pillow, if you have a dog that has zero concept of personal space and sticks to you like velcro, following you from the bed to the bathroom, you are lucky. You are so lucky. Because this kind of love that asks for nothing other than your presence, love that is 100% present in the now, is rare. It is a vanishingly scarce resource in our transactional world. It's the kind of love that makes you want to be a better human, just so you can be worthy of the way they look at you when you wake up. However, this love comes with a heavy responsibility. It is a covenant. The massive trust they give us when they close their eyes on our chest demands something in return. If your bed is the safest place in the world for them, then your job is to make sure the world outside that bed is safe for them too. You are the guardian of the guardian. This love is worth protecting because it is fleeting. Their lives are heartbreakingly short compared to ours. Every night they spend sleeping peacefully beside us is a grain of sand in an hourglass that runs faster than we want to admit. So how do we pay back that silent trust? How do we honor the contract? Not with speeches. They can't understand our poetry. We pay it back with action. We pay it back with stewardship. We pay it back with extra snuggles when they need them, even if we are busy. We pay it back by noticing when they are slowing down, when they are stiff, when they are not themselves. We pay it back with the best nutrition we can afford to put in their bowl, because we want that steady heartbeat to keep going for as long as biologically possible. We educate ourselves on what fuels them, treating their bodies with the same respect we treat our own. We pay it back with regular vet checkups, not just when they're sick, but to catch the silent things before they become loud things. It might sound technical and unromantic, but things like pet insurance or a dedicated health savings fund are profound acts of love. They are the practical application of devotion. They ensure that when your guardian angel needs help, you never have to hesitate. You never have to weigh their life against your bank balance. You can look the vet in the eye and say, "Do whatever it takes," without a second of doubt. That is the highest form of stewardship, securing a future for a creature that only understands the present. It is our burden to carry the worry, so they never have to. Protecting them is how we say thank you for every quiet night they give us. It's how we ensure there are many more nights like this to come. More mornings with wet noses, more evenings with heavy heads resting on our laps. So tonight, when you turn off the lights and feel that weight settle on your legs, or when you have to contort your body into a pretzel shape around a sleeping dog just to get comfortable, don't be annoyed. Don't push them away. Pause. Take a breath. Feel the rhythm of their breathing. Listen to the silence that isn't empty. Be grateful for the warmth that money cannot buy. In a loud, chaotic, demanding world, you have been chosen. You are someone's safe place. You are their entire universe. And there is no title, no award, no achievement in the world higher than that. Good night. I'd love to know who's watching over you tonight. Tell me their name in the comments, and maybe the one little thing they do that makes you feel chosen, whether it's the way they greet you or how they have to be touching you to fall asleep. I read every story, and I'd be honored to hear yours.